Hello, chess family. It's me, National Master Jesse James. It's time for a look with another personal game of mine. And this time I'm going to be playing Paul Keels, a very good chess player here from San Antonio. And yeah, he's got a lot of potential. Unfortunately, in this game, he just made too many weaknesses, so I called by the book. Here, I didn't really do anything special. I made the three weaknesses, and by the book, I just went ahead and attacked him, and I was able to win the game. This one is in our weekly complete chess Wednesday night game. Hope you guys enjoy. Here we go. I'm playing with the white pieces. So we start off with d4, d5, knight f3, knight f6, bishop g5. This is the Tory attack. Bishop f5. I'm not sure about this move, but I did not try to punish it. As far as I know, whenever they do play this bishop f5 move, one of the best ways to play is like e3 and then play the pawn to c4 so you can play queen b3. And the justification about this is that because the bishop is gone from f5, well, this b7 pawn becomes weak. I decided not to play like this, at least today, and played pawn to e3, pawn to e6, and here I just played bishop d3, trying to get a good position, or at least an equal position. Here he went ahead and played bishop e7, and this was the first weakness. What do you play? Not too hard here. We're just going to go ahead and take on f5 right here, and after e takes on f5, well, we just got some bad double pawns right here. Let's develop with the threat, queen to d3 to attack it. And here we played a very nice move of knight to e4 here. And here I was looking around for quite a while with these queen b5 check ideas. For instance, again, I looked at this for quite a while and I just decided not to do it just because after queen b5 check, there's many different moves here you can play that go into good positions here for white. For instance, if queen d7, well, now I'm more than happy to go ahead and take the pawn. And then he'll probably go ahead and just play something like queen c6 here. And, well, I'm so sorry, not queen c6, as queen c8 check is just going to be mate. Here I think something like, I guess, pawn to c6. Either way, this is not too good of a position, and we can just go ahead and go grabbing or just take on d7 here, right? And a lot of the lines are like this. Of course, if knight to d7, you can just take on e7 now, and then take on d5 or b5. I would take the d5 pawn as f5's hanging after this, and b7's still hanging. So just a lot of different variations here. With that being said, the reason why I didn't play this one was because I was worried about after queen b5 check, this move of pawn to c6 here. And after c6 gets played, well, you can go pawn grabbing, queen takes b7, and I was worried about bishop takes g5, queen takes on a8, and queen to b6. And here I just wasn't sure because my queen is pretty much trapped in the corner here. Computer says this is good at a +1 advantage. With that being said, black has a lot of play here. I mean, computer's suggesting right now knight c3, queen takes b2, and apparently this is just winning for white. Yeah, I'm not sure why this is so great. Knight takes e4, queen takes a1 check, and then king e2 or d2, and white's just going to be winning over here with the rook. Again, a very long calculation and hard to find, at least over the board. I didn't go into all this. Here, after knight e4, I just played bishop takes on e7, queen takes on e7, and I castled right away. Here, he castled right away, and here, again, I like my position. I played pawn to c4, and already, strategically speaking, I'm in a very good position. Here, probably best for him is just to go ahead and play d takes c4 here, but again, I'm very happy because now I got this backwards pawn open file here I can put pressure on, and with these double pawns here, I'm going to keep pushing here for the win. Now he played here a move I was very happy to see, which was pawn c6, and now I got my second weakness. So I already have my first pawn weakness, which was the f5 pawn. What's the second one here? Simple chess. It's the d5 pawn. Here you go ahead and take. Now I have an isolated d pawn, and then I just continue developing with knight to c3. He played rook to d8 as well. Developing the piece to defend the d5 pawn makes sense. I guess you can move the queen again, but I was expecting rook to d8 here. And then here I continue. Already here I have to ask you, what's the best way for white to play? Should I go for kingside attack? Should I go for center? Or go for queenside? I always recommend in your chess games, think about this because it's going to help you make your decisions of where you should be developing your pieces. With that being said, hopefully this move makes sense to you. We're going to be going queenside here because there's lots of weaknesses over here, and there's an open c file here. So with that being said, I played rook f to c1. Simple ideas about doubling up rooks, and again, putting pressure on the d5 pawn. He played knight c6, and now I played kind of a weird looking move to some people, but I played pawn to a3. What's so weird about this? Well, I would like to go ahead and just play something like rook c2 and double up rooks, but knight b4 can get played, and I'll be losing the exchange. Okay. Another reason why I liked a3 here was because I wanted to go queen b5 to put pressure on d5 and the b7 pawn. With that being said, after queen b5, queen b4 can get played, and I just didn't like this because, well, I'm trying not to make trades here, and I know I can already see with the last few moves that Keels is playing. He's playing very, very solid, but he's also making trades here because, well, he would like a draw against me. Of course, it's up to the stronger player to keep making pressure and keep pushing forward. Just like the quote says, be very cautious about putting yourself to maintain equality with your pieces in passive positions. In this game, I believe that's exactly what happened. Alright, in the game, I played a3 to stop this idea. Plus, I might play something like b4, b5. After I've doubled up my rooks, I'm going to need to kick this knight out the way. So, he played a6, and here was, I guess he was like trying to copy me or just, again, maintain the equality. But unfortunately, a6 is a weak move. It's so funny because even though the pawn structure looks symmetrical, or the same, it's actually worse for him because of the way my pieces are placed. Again, this rook just defending a pawn is not too good here. He definitely has a great knight right here, but this knight's not too well placed. And, well, I'm going to be doubling up my rooks very fast, and there's really just nothing he can do to stop it. I went ahead and continued with knight a4. This move I liked quite a bit, looking to play something like knight b6, putting pressure on the rook, controlling c8 so he can't contest my rooks doubling up, and also putting pressure on the weak, isolated pawn. Again, he has two weaknesses already I'm working on, and I just have a beautiful pawn structure here with no weaknesses right now. He went ahead and played rook to d6, which made sense. He was looking to probably play something like b5, so he wants to defend the knight, and also maybe run over here toward the king side to do some kingside attack. And here I just kept pressing forward. Pawn to b4 here. Definitely b5 ideas in the future. And unfortunately for him, he went ahead and played pawn b5. And here I have my third weakness I can put pressure on, which is, alright, what's the new weakness here? I'll give you a hint. I played knight c5 to attack it. The new pawn weakness is this a6 pawn. Because my knight's on c5, it actually does put direct pressure on it. And if Keels ever does take on c5, well, he's only helping me get my rooks to open file here, and this knight is going to be in the way, and it will definitely be a target. In fact, that's actually how I win the chess game at the end. So knight c5 got played. Now I have three weaknesses that I could put pressure on. Again, even though this is symmetrical, my a3 pawn is not a weakness because the knight is not on c4 to attack it. That's one of the main reasons why I had played pawn b4, was to stop knight a5 from being played so that the knight could not get to c4. When he played b5 here, I was all but happy just to throw it to c5, and now the a6 pawn is my new weakness. He played rook g6. Not a move I was too worried about. Again, I have no weaknesses over here, so there's really no justification to start the kingside attack. And, well, he only has really three pieces here, but I have, you know, two pieces over here to defend with. Again, I didn't see any attacking ideas, so I just continue with the queenside play. Rook c2, simple chess. Let's go ahead and double our rooks. Pawn to h6. I'm not sure why this move was made. I guess maybe just to make kingside escaping ideas. So I just continue with rook ac1. And unfortunately here he was feeling the pressure and he makes a decisive mistake here. And he plays knight takes c5 here. Alright, white to move. What do you play here to win? Pretty simple here. We just play rook takes c5. And the idea here is, well, two pawns are hanging here. The knight's hanging here. He played queen to d7. Now it's white to move and win some material. After this move, he just went ahead and resigned. Alright, white to move. What do you play here? Simple chess. At this point, we're putting pressure on the c file, and then also we see this idea about playing knight to e5 to fork the rook and the queen. So all you gotta do is remove the defender. With that being said, you just play the simple move, queen c2, and at this point he just went ahead and resigned. And there's no way to defend the knight. If rook c8 gets played, hopefully you see the coming up move. Obviously I can't take right away, but what do you play here? Queen c2 goes right into it, knight to e5 here, and you're just going to be losing a piece. Of course, if you take, it's the worst of both worlds, right? Rook takes c8 check, king moves, and then you take, so you're just up an extra rook here. And is there anything else that really to be happened here? Not really. If you just move the queen away, now you can simply just take here on c6, or you can even take on g6 here. There's so many winning moves here, it's really hard to say which one I would have chosen. Alright guys, hopefully you like this game. I call it playing by the book. I had three weaknesses over here with the pawns. I was able to come down the c file, and there was no kingside attack to be had, so the game ends pretty fast. Alright guys, we'll see you in the next one.